Thank you for having me. So I'm a registered dietitian. I've been in the field for almost 25 years. I just want to add that everything that we talk about today, these are recommendations that I have, but they should really align with anything that your doctor has guided you for. Increasing energy, I think, comes from getting enough sleep, but another really big one is hydration. If you picture a plant that's wilted and then you put water in the plant and the plant can perk back up like in front of your eyes, that's what happens to our cells during the day. If we're feeling tired, especially going into the afternoon, there's a really good chance that that's a sign of dehydration. And then for productivity, I think this is more of a behavioral answer that we should have lists of things that we want to be working on. And it's such a good feeling to be able to check things off of your list. And so hydration, sleep, and using a list, I think will answer that first question. So the first one I would like to say is Twill. I think Twill has done an amazing job getting like top experts in all different areas that will answer your questions specifically. I would love for you to come to talk to me on Twill. You can submit questions anytime. We have lots of articles about food and psoriasis on Twill, going through all different areas of anti-inflammatory foods, what might be triggers, what might be supportive. So it's all on there. I see a lot of people are looking for supplement information, but especially with supplements, I would never take anything without talking to your doctor because supplements can actually sometimes interfere with prescription medication. Intermittent fasting may have some value in it for some people. And so for weight management, it could be helpful because when you are sleeping overnight, when you're not eating, your body starts to burn your fat for fuel. If you wake up early in the morning and you eat something early, and especially if it's something that has a lot of carbohydrates in it, you stop burning fat because you convert over to burning what you just ate. And now your body needs to produce a lot of insulin at that time. It takes you out of a fat burning state. Whereas if you are comfortable doing this and you can delay your breakfast time, so maybe even waiting just a couple of hours later to eat, you're leaving your body in a fat burning state for more hours. So this has been found to be helpful for weight management, but it's also been found to be helpful for some GI conditions. That if someone's eating from like really early in the morning until really late at night, you're asking your body to like work overtime. And it doesn't necessarily give your body a chance to regulate itself, to regulate the hormones and your gut microbiome. So a big deal though with intermittent fasting is that I don't think that we should take it to the extreme. No one should be fasting and eating just one meal a day. I know sometimes people do that for short times for religious purposes, and that's a different situation. I think that the most successful that I see people usually do is if they wait and they eat breakfast when they're hungry. That might mean 10 or 10:30, 11 o'clock, but when your body says I'm hungry, that's when you should eat breakfast. And none of us really need to be eating late at night. That's not such a healthy habit. So if you eat a healthy dinner and then maybe you have one healthy snack after dinner, but stop eating at that time, we should naturally be able to do about a 12-hour fast. And a lot of people can do a 16-hour fast. So maybe you eat from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., but we shouldn't try to do anything more stricter than that. And again, it should be under your doctor's supervision and within your comfort level. There's so many different liquid things. There's cleanses, there's smoothies, there's meal replacements. So the first thing is you want to ask yourself, like, what's the purpose of me doing this and where am I going to fit it into my day? So I don't believe that we should do any short-term quick fixes because there are no short-term quick fixes. And it's a way that we end up wasting a lot of money and maybe doing something that's not even so healthy. So I wouldn't do a short-term like juice cleanse because truly there's no health benefit to doing it. But if we wanted to do a meal replacement that was maybe more along the line of like a smoothie for a meal, then we want to look at what we're putting into it. We want to make sure that there's a protein source. So it could be maybe Greek yogurt as a protein source, or it could be a scoop of a protein powder. And with the protein powder, we just want to look to make sure that there's like not a ton of like artificial ingredients in there. So we can look for like a very natural protein powder. We want to put a lot of vegetables in there. And then for sweetness, maybe one piece of fruit. So maybe a banana or maybe some berries. What happens sometimes with a smoothie is that people put in like every piece of fruit that's going bad in their kitchen, and they end up drinking a lot of calories and a lot of carbohydrates all at once. And so that's not necessarily helpful for weight management. It's not necessarily helpful for blood sugar to drink all of those carbs at once. But if we do a balanced smoothie that has a protein source, some vegetables, and a careful amount of fruit, that would be an okay thing to do as a meal replacement. So this has been a big theme of a very common question that I've gotten ever since COVID. A lot of people found that when they were home more, they were either baking more or they were drinking more. And those are okay things to do, but not necessarily everyday habits that we want to have. And some people find that maybe they're better off not drinking at all. And if you feel that way, it's important to talk to your doctor about it. There's a lot of great programs to help with that. But if you feel like that you want to keep some alcohol in your life, but just in moderation, then you want to set up some parameters for that. So maybe you decide that you're going to only drink alcohol when you're in a social situation, or you're going to only drink alcohol on the weekends. So then during the week, you want to come up with some replacement behaviors. So one might be that you take out a wine glass, but you fill it with seltzer, and maybe you get different flavors of seltzer. Or maybe you change your whole evening routine. And when you come home, if before you would pour a glass of wine to take the edge off of the day, maybe you come home and you put on pajamas right away and you get really comfortable in your pajamas, and maybe you make a cup of tea, and later as the evening goes, maybe you make sleepy time tea and you do things to change the whole evening routine. There are times that I come home and I'll do a 10-minute exercise video, like a meditation or a yoga video or just a stretching video. And I have found that that actually can take the place of a glass of wine, because often when people are going for the wine, they're looking to relax. And if we can do yoga or meditation, even for 10 minutes, that might be really what you're looking for. And in the nicer weather, coming home and maybe going just for a walk around the block a couple of times, sometimes that's enough to produce endorphins so that we can get like a natural high that way and not look to the alcohol for it. And by doing that, you can then save the alcohol for the weekends or when you're with friends. I think that we should not be drinking in response to a bad day, that if we're drinking in response to stress, that we want to work on other healthy outlets for our stress. And if you want to save the alcohol for more of like a celebration, that might be a healthier way to look at it. If you can find one or two friends working on the same habit, something that I have found helpful is just texting back emojis so that you have support. And so with alcohol, it could be like a no wine sign, and that you send it to your friends at night that are also working on the same goal. And so this is what Twill could be here for also. This is the idea of a community that if you want to post what your goal is during the week, then I'm sure other Twill members will help you to stay accountable to your goal. I think eggs are a really, really good breakfast because they're a lot of protein. And if you have hard-boiled eggs and you do it in advance, you can have breakfast for a few days. Or another thing is that they have the egg bites now, which are just like eggs and vegetables that you could buy frozen, and you just put them in the microwave for 45 seconds. So that could be a very fast breakfast. Other fast breakfast ideas that have protein could be either Greek yogurt or cottage cheese and add some berries to it. For fast lunches, I would take some kind of lower calorie bread or wrap and put some kind of protein on it. So it could be turkey and laughing cow cheese. It could be whipped cream cheese and smoked salmon. It could be tuna salad or chicken salad or egg salad made with light mayo. And it might take you just a couple of minutes to do, but then you have your lunch ready. Then for dinners, healthy dinner meals that would be fast, I don't think it's bad to buy some frozen foods. I think that they've come a really long way. And so if someone said, I'm going to either go to a fast food place or I'm going to pull something out of my freezer, almost every time we pull it out of our freezer, it's going to be less calories, less fat, less sodium, less money than going to like a fast food pickup kind of place. So I mentioned before, I think hydration is really important for energy. Then the next thing is spacing out the right amount of calories that your body needs throughout the day evenly. I think lean and green is the way to go. Like you want to have lean proteins and veggies. But what takes away our energy often is when we eat too much in one sitting, especially if it's too many carbohydrates in one sitting. So if you sat down to like a big pasta meal midday, or if it was like a big thing of like fried food, If we eat less healthy food in bigger portions, it kind of sucks our energy. And the reason is that our blood sugar can go higher, and high blood sugar makes you feel really tired. So I think for energy, it's about having like smaller amounts of healthy foods spaced out throughout the day so that you have an even flow of energy during the day.